WXII 12 News at 10 on the Triad CW starts now.
A fire damages a popular restaurant in Winston-Salem. I'm Steve King with a live report about why fire department leaders say this fire could have been a lot worse.
And a deadly explosion rocks Durham. What investigators think started it. And
we should not bring history from the past that doesn't speak well to unity and place it on the next generation.
Why one local group says the Dixie Classic Fair needs to change its name.
we begin in Winston-Salem tonight, where a local barbecue restaurant caught fire this evening. Nobody was hurt, but the flames did do some damage.
Our Steve King joins us live now from Mr. Barbecue, a popular restaurant along Peters Creek Parkway, where investigators are still combing through the ashes. So, Steve, what do we know so far?
Well, right now, investigators have not determined exactly what caused this fire. You can see what the fire did, causing some of this damage here, ripping a hole in the roof when this fire began at about 6:20 this evening. Now, a viewer actually sent us footage of the flames. This is what firefighters saw as they arrived to Mr. Barbecue on Peters Creek Parkway before 6:30 on Wednesday night.
A large body of fire was in the attic and in the area in the rear of the structure.
About 4 customers, 7 employees, and 2 managers, including James Karras, were inside when the fire started.
We saw smoke. We just made sure everybody got out safely. It was from room to room just to make sure everybody was out. Yeah, and it was, we don't have that big of a staff, and the main thing was we went through the bathrooms, we went through, the stock area and ran out.
They did a great job of getting the people out when they knew they had a fire.
Firefighters then searched the building, finding no one inside. It took them about 20 minutes to put out the fire. Managers say they're very grateful for the fire department's quick response.
Thank God, the first responders got here when they did. And as quickly as they did a phenomenal job.
Now, right now, investigators are still assessing the damage, trying to figure out how badly the building was damaged from the fire. The owners say they hope to reopen right here in this location at some point, where they've been serving barbecue since 1962. Reporting live in Winston-Salem, Steve King, WXII 12 News.
All right, Steve, thank you. We are also staying on top of that deadly gas explosion that happened in downtown Durham, killing 1 person.
More than a dozen other people are hurt, and buildings around that area are also damaged. Meredith Wood explains what set things off this morning.
A scene witnesses described as a war zone.
We prepare our whole careers for days like this, and we hope they never come.
After a gas explosion rocked a shopping district in Durham early Wednesday.
A gas leak was caused by a contractor who was boring under the sidewalk. He had a 2-inch gas line, which was causing an explosion.
And the aftermath to surrounding buildings, disastrous. Officials say 5 buildings were damaged, 1 was leveled, windows blown out nearly a block away, glass and debris scattered everywhere.
We've had a terrible tragedy today. We've had the loss of 1 life, and we don't know, there could be more.
According to police, first responders and fire crews were on scene within minutes of the blast. More than a dozen suffered injuries, including a firefighter, and were transported to area hospitals, some with critical injuries. I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
Because of that, Durham School of the Arts will be closed tomorrow while crews inspect the foundation to make sure it's safe. The school is just blocks away from where this explosion happened, forcing students to evacuate this morning.
The Dixie Classic Fair attracts hundreds of thousands of people to Winston-Salem every year.
But some say the name is tied to the Civil War and should be changed. A city committee plans to look into that complaint and bring it up at their next, with their findings, I should say, with city staff. Then the city council will decide if they want to take up the issue at upcoming events. Tonight, Dixie Classic Fair organizers and city council member Dee Dee Adams weighed in on the name.
We have the Dixie Classic Livestock Show, which is where we then came the name from Dixie Classic Fair, and that really brought people from all over the U.S. here to see how great our agriculture was. So for us, it just celebrates how great of an agricultural community we have here.
The word Dixie does equate or bring up connotations of other negative times in history and events. And I would hope that people would be open enough to understand that.
Councilmember Adams says if the name does change, it would not impact this year's fair, which is only 6 months away.
We've been following these big developing stories all day long. You can stay up to date with what we know about the proposal to change the name of the Dixie Classic Fair, the deadly explosion in Durham, and the fire at Mr. Barbecue right now on WXII12.com.
Still no sign of Gregory Lucas Jr. He's the man police say was driving the car that hit Robert Jordan as he biked home last month. Jordan's still in the hospital tonight. His family says this was the second time in 2 weeks that someone hit him. Jordan has biked home from his dance studio for years. Now his family is trying to place those dancers at other studios for their recitals, while police continue searching for Lucas. Police want to hear from you if you know or saw anything. And if you want to help the family with Jordan's medical care, we shared a link to their GoFundMe page on WXII12.com.
2 men accused of holding several people hostage at gunpoint, including a 6-month-old baby, are in jail tonight. A SWAT team surrounded this home located on Washward Road in Thomasville last night. A neighbor who asked that we not show her face or her name says that officers evacuated the area, but she couldn't leave because her mom is in a wheelchair.
They advised for all of us to go to my room, which is the back bedroom back here, and we didn't hear nothing else. And then I'm gonna say about 10:30, 10:45, somewhere in there, I heard a loud boom that shook my house. It was startling when that happened because it was unexpected, but everybody was calm.
Officers say that Donnell Rogers tried to escape through a window while Dominique Shepard surrendered to police. Both men are in jail right now facing multiple charges tonight.
Marcus Smith's family has filed a federal lawsuit in federal court. It names the city of Greensboro, Guilford County, 8 police officers and 2 paramedics who were there the night Smith died in police custody last year. Our Bill O'Neill explains why hog tying, cited as one of the causes of Smith's death, is at the heart of his family's lawsuit.
Hog tying, cited as one of the causes in Marcus Smith's death, is at the heart of the family's lawsuit.
Never hog tie a prisoner. Don't treat him like an animal.
Smith family attorneys say Greensboro police ignored the manufacturer's instructions when using the Rip Hobble, the device to hog tie Marcus Smith last September. Those instructions state, never hog tie a prisoner.
The term itself is a bit terrifying and dehumanizing, to say the least.
The lawsuit also claims Greensboro police ignored their own policies regarding restraint devices.
So nobody goes by the book? None of the officers goes by the book. Their own policy. Nobody goes by the book.
And accuses police chief Wayne Scott of trying to cover up the death. The department's initial news release about Marcus Smith's death didn't mention the use of hog tying.
We're here because Wayne Scott lied about how he died.
The Smith family attorneys say besides recovering unspecified damages, the lawsuit hopes to determine who is responsible for the death of Marcus Smith.
Because this case is not over. It's just starting in the courts and in the community.
That was our Bill O'Neill reporting. The Greensboro Police Officers Association issued a statement today calling the lawsuit frivolous. It goes on to say that the lawsuit, quote, is an affront to Greensboro police officers and police officers everywhere and is replete with false allegations, end quote. We've been following this case since Smith died on September 8th of last year. You can find all of our previous coverage on WXII12.com.
All right, now more lawmakers are stepping in to stop an outbreak of the measles. There have been at least 465 reported cases of measles in the United States since the beginning of the year, and we are only 4 months in. The highest number of measles cases since 2000 was in 2014, when there were reportedly 667 cases for the entire year. That's a difference of 202 cases between 2014 and now. Vaccines all but wiped out the disease, which is spreading by people who just are not getting vaccinated. Tonight, lawmakers in New York are in a legal battle to keep unvaccinated people out of public places like schools, churches, and even subways. And in Washington state, lawmakers are working on a bill to ban personal exemptions to the MMR vaccine. Health experts say they hope the legal intervention won't stop patients from addressing their concerns with a doctor. The CDC is following another outbreak as well. The agency says that the E. coli outbreak that began last month is spreading, now infecting 96 people across 5 states. That's up from 72 reported cases just last Friday. The CDC says it still hasn't pinpointed the source of this outbreak.
Headlines from Capitol Hill now. The House passed a bill to restore net neutrality protections, but President Trump's Federal Communications Commission had repealed them more than a year ago. They say the Internet Act would prohibit Internet service providers from interfering with web traffic. Net neutrality supporters say Internet providers could put paywalls on Internet speed and boost companies who pay them unless there are rules to prevent that, enforced by an agency like the FCC. Earlier this week, the White House said the president strongly opposes the legislation. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says his department will miss Congress's deadline tonight to provide 6 years' worth of President Trump's tax returns. Mnuchin says he respects congressional oversight, but his agency needs more time to review the, quote, unprecedented request.
Attorney General Bill Barr spent a second day testifying on Capitol Hill. The questions continue to focus on the special counsel report, not the Justice Department's budget. Today, Barr raised a lot of eyebrows when he told senators that he believes spying did occur during the Trump campaign in 2016.
I think spying on a political campaign is a big deal.
You're not suggesting, though, that spying occurred?
I don't, I guess you could, I think spying did occur.
President Trump continues to say he's been exonerated because Barr's summary of special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia report said that there was no criminal conspiracy found between the campaign and Russia, but it was Barr, not the special counsel, who decided there wasn't enough evidence to prove obstruction.
Look at that.
Still ahead tonight at 10, grab a beer and something else sharper. We're going to take you to the Triad's first axe throwing bar.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, we have out there today a lot of sunshine, a lot of pollen as well. I'll bring you up to date on that and when the rain returns. Coming up.